Hello and welcome to Band Lessons with Mr. Pfan. Today's lesson will focus on minor scales. There are three main types of minor scales that exist in music, and those are natural minor, harmonic minor, and melodic minor. In this lesson, I will be relating all of these scales to their parallel major scale. First up is natural minor. So, how do we turn a major scale into a minor scale? There are a couple things that we need to do depending on the scale. First of all, if we're trying to turn a major scale into a natural minor scale, we need to alter three of the notes, and they are the third, the sixth, and the seventh. As you can see right here, I have a C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and I've given all of those scale degrees a number. The natural minor formula is when you flat the third, flat the sixth, and flat the seventh scale degree of the major scale. So what I mean by flatting it is lowering that note by a half step. So since the third of a C major scale is E natural, when we lower it to E flat, it'll be part of the natural minor scale. Same thing with A, which is the sixth, and B, which is the seventh. When we lower those three notes, the third, the sixth, and the seventh, out comes a C natural minor scale. Let's listen to what it sounds like. The next scale that we're going to focus on is called the harmonic minor scale. This one is even closer to the major scale because it only alters two notes from the major scale. The third is altered and the sixth is altered, and both of them again are flatted, so it means that we lower those notes by a half step. So in this example for harmonic minor, we're going to flat the third, which becomes E flat, and we'll flat the sixth, which becomes A flat. Let's listen to this one. The third type of minor is called melodic minor. The melodic minor scale is a tricky one because it's played differently when you go up the scale versus when you go down the scale. So ascending, the melodic minor scale sounds like this. It is literally a major scale with a flatted third on the way up, right? So every note is the same as the major scale going up except for the third, which is still flatted or lowered. So we have C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B, C. Now the tricky part is when you play melodic minor going back down, you actually change it to natural minor going backwards. So when you go down the scale or play the scale descending, it sounds like this. So the third is still flatted, but you change the sixth and seventh back to flatting them like natural minor. So here's the whole melodic minor scale, up and down. Now it's your turn to play some of these scales. So take a look and find your instrument group. For the first example, we're going to take the concert C major scale and make it minor. So, first, let's play a concert C major scale. Find your group and play along with me in half notes. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, now, to change that scale into a natural minor scale, what we're going to have to do is lower the third, sixth, and seventh each by a half step. Take a look at the notes in your scale that are white. Those are the notes that have been changed to make it a natural minor scale. Let's try this scale all together in half notes, up and down. 1, 2, set, go. The next scale is the harmonic minor scale. This scale is more like the major scale in that it only has two notes that are altered, the third and the sixth, and they're both lowered by a half step. So let's try the C harmonic minor scale. 1, 2, ready, go. One thing I wanted to point out, everyone take a look at group 2. This is a D harmonic minor scale. Notice that the third of the scale says F, right? Because originally a D major scale has an F sharp in it. So when we lower or flat one of the notes, we're not just putting a flat sign in front of it, we have to think of the chromatic scale and lower it by a half step. So if the normal note in a major scale is F sharp, in order to lower it, it becomes F natural, not F flat, okay? So all of the times that you're lowering a note by a half step, make sure it just goes down one half step and it doesn't just turn into a flat. Now the last scale is melodic minor. This one's the trickiest because it's different going up and down. So maybe pause this one and try it on your own first before we play it together. Notice on the way up, it only has a flatted third. On the way down, we flat the 7th, 6th, and 3rd. Okay, let's try this one together. Half notes up and down. Here we go. 1, 2, set, go. Now, the process we just went through is called parallel major and minor. Parallel means they're both the same starting note. So what we did was we took a C major scale and turned it into C minor scales by altering some of the notes based on a formula for each scale. The other way to go about major and minor scales is something called relative major and minor. Relative major and minor scales are two scales that share the same key signature. And the way this works is like this. You think of any major scale and find the 6th note. The 6th note of any major scale will be that key's relative minor. So here's an example. If I take our C major scale has 0 sharps or flats. If I find the 6th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the note is A, it will turn into A natural minor. C major and A natural minor are relatives because they both have 0 sharps or flats. So take a look. Here I have the C major scale, and I circled the A because that's the 6th note. If I were to write a 2-octave C major scale like I did here, and just start on an A and play from A to A, out will come the A natural minor scale. So C major and A minor both have 0 sharps or flats. So they are relatives. They share the same key. So again, the way you find this is by taking the major scale or the major key and going to the 6th note. That will be your minor scale. So let's practice this. Here's the circle of fourths paper again, so you can use that to figure out your scales. I'm going to give you a major scale, and I want you to try to find the relative minor. So think of the 6th note of that major scale. First one is F major. What would the relative minor be? The answer is D minor. So both F major and D minor will have one flat in the key signature, and that flat will be B flat. Let's do another one. A flat major. Find the relative minor. The 6th note of the A flat major scale is F. So A flat major has 4 flats, and so does F natural minor. They are relatives. Next one, D major. The 6th note of the D major scale is B. Both of those, D major and B minor, share the same key signature of 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. They are relatives. Here's the last one, E major, 4 sharps. Since the 6th note of the E major scale is C sharp, the relative minor is C sharp minor. So E major and C sharp minor both have 4 sharps in their key signature. Now, using either of these methods, you can take a look at the circle of fourths and fifths and try to play some minor scales. Use the formulas as well to help you to turn major scales into minor scales. Generally, when I practice these scales, I like to play them in a specific order. So I'll start with a major scale, then turn it into natural minor, then make it harmonic, and then make it melodic. So the whole routine sounds like this. And then I'll go to the next key. Try it in all 12 keys.